Well, welcome back everyone to the fourth edition of the CFO Executive Leadership Summit 2021 in association with Clear. Well, if you may have any questions directed to our panel, please look at the right-hand side of the screen. Right on the top, you'll find a Q&A tab. Post in your questions. We'll take it up at the end of the session if time allows. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible day this is turning out to be. And right now, the theme for the panel discussion number 4 is the next revolution in finance, the rise of intelligent automation. Well, intrigued by the topic? So am I. Well, for this, we're joined by our moderator. First up, Ms. Vidya Sarathy, the CFO, 3M India Limited. With 27 years of varied rich experience in corporate reporting, management information system, which is MIS, performance management reporting, business finance, and controlling, that is Ms. Vidya. We're also joined by our eminent panelist, Mr. Manoj Agarwal, CFO, Sunteck Realty Limited, a finance professional with more than 25 plus years of experience and strong credentials in developing and implementing financial controls, soft efficiency processes, cash flow management, productivity improvements, and change management. Well, we're also joined by Mr. Kailash Gupta, CFO, INOX Leisure Limited, a seasoned finance professional with 23 plus years of rich experience in investor relations, fundraising, general and business accounting, taxation, banking, treasury, business planning, review, budgeting, commercial, legal, controlling, and relationship management. We also have Mr. Aneel Gambhir, the CFO of Blue Dart Express Limited, an accounting professional with over 25 plus years of experience in strategic planning, risk management, sourcing of funds. We also have Mr. Rajesh Gagrani, the Senior VP and Divisional CFO, India and SAARC Kalpataru Power Transmission Limited, worked on top positions in Indian and foreign MNCs with extensive experience in strategy, finance, accounts, taxation, internal control, compliance, risk management, commercial, sectorial, legal, IT, ERP, and greenfield projects. We also have Mr. Sami Agarwal, Group CFO, Manipal Hospitals, a senior finance professional having more than 24 years of experience working in Indian and MNC blue chip companies. And lastly, we have Mr. Sumit Kawariya, the Finance Controller of ClearTax India, an experienced finance controller with a demonstrated history of working in the e-commerce industry. So ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible panel this has turned out to be, and right on time, it is time to pass on the live baton to Ms. Vidya Sarathy to take it forth.
Yeah, thank you, Bhavna. Good afternoon to all. It's a privilege for me to be a moderator for this session, which is the next revolution in finance. So we have seen it changing incredibly faster. Where we started in 1990, where we were in the manual accounting system, and the only thing that the accountants or the chartered accountants were working on is to keep the records straight and then to finalize the accounts and then publish it. So from there, we moved on to ERP in 2000, where it was really very supportive for the accountants, I should say, having different kind of ERPs like SAP and Oracle for bigger businesses. Then now in 2015 and onwards, we are really transforming from just having these financial statements finalized and doing the corporate reporting part and having the MIS systems. We are now moving on to the artificial intelligence. We have already moved on, and we are really progressing very fast to different technologies where we are using them like artificial intelligence, RPMs, and so on. So this rise of intelligent automation is really helping the CFOs, I should say, in their role, which is really changing the role of the CFO from the traditional accountant to business enablers, automations, bringing in more controls and operating systems to prevent revenue leakages. Then they are also able to publish the dashboards, they do the real-time reporting, and are decision enablers. Just going away from just keeping the monthly management information systems, it used to come on a monthly basis. Now it is on a real-time reporting. which helps the companies to take decisions faster. So we are also driving business models using AI robotics for enhancing customer experience, optimum utilization of resources. We work on cost reduction measures and data analytics. So the role of CFA, if we see, it is completely changed, and we are now a business partner, and we help taking decisions from the management side. So let us now move on to the different panelists and then understand what is their experience in the entire journey. So I would like to now address Aneel Gambhir, the CFO of Blue Dart Express Limited. Over to you, Aneel. I want to discuss with you on, as a logistic company that you are kind of working for, would like to understand from you how you have leveraged the technologies like artificial intelligence in improving your business efficiency in your operations, as well as giving an enhancing experience to the customers.
Thank you, Vidya, and good afternoon to you all. I think any initiative which gives either value addition or improves efficiency has always been darling of CFOs, and digitalization is no different. So if we talk about pre-pandemic era, I think this was primarily being driven from the point of view of getting efficiency or improving or providing value add. While when pandemic happened, I think this became necessity, not just from the point of view of value addition, it became very vital from business continuity point of view. So as we are currently talking, many of us are still working from home. How was it made possible? Because of digital processes which have enabled for us to work remotely and still deliver results. So that is where I think CFOs got much bigger say in the digitalization journey. While initially it was more from value add point of view or efficiency point of view, later on from business sustainability, and continuing journey from there to now become a strategic point, because I'm sure today no organization can afford to be behind on digital journey. So similarly, during pandemic and post, still pandemic is not over. I would say the waves have slightly reduced. So post reduction of wave, the number of things which organizations are doing, and we are no different. So talking about our company in logistics, I think the first thing in first wave of pandemic, we were looking at is that if we have to deliver, then how do we deliver without impacting our employees and also without impacting our customers, be it on a pickup side or be it on the delivery side, because generally it is a physical interaction which used to happen. And during pandemic, I think it was the least required, or people would not expose themselves to the pandemic and where they get infected. So we first devised in April 2020 itself a new system or innovation which we did is by way of a contactless deliveries, so that we are able to deliver and have acknowledgement through OTP system. So rather than taking signature on delivery sheet or on a device which we should take, we said we'll move to OTP system, and whereby through registered mobile number itself, if somebody gives OTP, that itself should be taken as a valid proof of delivery. That's point number one. Second thing, during first wave of pandemic was liquidity, both for ourselves and also for vendors. So we needed to work on number of solutions to ensure that digital way, while initially it was not as high in terms of digital adoption, but we did digital billing, we did digital collection from our customers during pandemic. And later on, we provided digital payments, bill submission facility and digital payment to our vendors as well. Moving on from there, I think the number of initiatives which we have post the wave one, we have implemented, and some of them are still in pipeline on operational efficiency point of view, because it's a logical extension of that. When you could sustain your business operations during pandemic, now take it further to not only improve the process but also have value add. So what we are currently implementing is validation system in our operations. So like today, if we know that e-commerce business is growing, and e-commerce business has got many orders, a large number of orders, and where shipments needs to be tracked, not only tracked online, but also delivered, needs to be delivered on time, so that e-commerce customers are able to recognize the revenue. So we do have a system which currently is being implemented is address validation. So the moment pickup is done, basis the previous behavior of customer, because we have been delivering e-commerce shipment for last 10, 12 years, we know that how whether the address is feasible enough to deliver a shipment or not, so that we are able to tell our customer that what is the possibility of this shipment getting delivered when it reaches destination. Second, now there are when you talk about artificial intelligence, that is where, or the intelligent automation, that is where we built in number of machine learning and artificial intelligence in the system, whereby when it reaches destination, even route planning basis the previous delivery behavior is done by system, so that you are able to get better hit ratio in terms of delivery. There's no point if you if some shipment is to be delivered to a person during daytime, because generally deliveries happen daytime, and if a person is in office, obviously if a shipment has come to home address, it will not be delivered. But if that is recorded, system is learned over a period of time that for a particular person, delivery happens maybe after office hours. So that learning is brought to the system, and accordingly route designing is done that the person attempts the delivery towards evening, so that there's a high success ratio in terms of delivery, so that there's no futile attempt to deliver. Point number one, there's no extra expenses. It becomes efficient, and also customer is also happy because he knows at his convenient time the shipment is getting delivered. The second point within this is that if now, as we know that we do have a large number of people who are outsourced and they keep changing. So sometimes they are not able to locate that address. So what we have built in, again here using the machine learning and artificial intelligence, that in the past, if shipment has been delivered to that address and the person is not able to, the new person is not able to locate address, then if he puts an undelivered code, he gets prompted saying that no, this is not right thing he is doing. This shipment, this person has got a shipment in the past, and this is what the address was, and then you go and locate and go and deliver. So that again, this gives efficiency, this gives a better customer experience, and also this ensures that our customer, who is e-commerce customer, also gets a better revenue recognition, because shipment is getting delivered on time. We know that nowadays speed is of essence. So if you're not able to deliver speedily and optimizing cost, obviously this becomes an extra overhead for customers as well as for us. So that is where this embedding artificial intelligence and machine learning, we are trying to improve customer experience, not only to have a better hit ratio on the revenue, but also with efficiency for ourselves. That's where I'll take it forward. Thank you.
Nice to know, Anil, that during the pandemic, you all really adapted excellent techniques, so that you are able to enhance customer experience. Not only enhance, it was the need of the hour almost. Like none of us were able to step out of the house, and then e-commerce was really one of the important channels of business. And you all really delivered it, understood the pain points, and made it happen. I think we should thank you for that. And also would like to understand what is the ERP you're using to automate your processes and improve your data analytics, because with the volume of business growing, so you may want to kind of even adopt different analytics processes, isn't it, methods?
You're right. So we have firstly ERPs in-house, because logistic space, organized logistic space is not so much prevalent in India. So there's hardly any off-the-shelf ERPs are available. So the ERP which we are using is in-house developed, and on that we have a Power BI and BI tools developed on this for data analytics point of view. So that is where we currently use those. Apart from that, we do have some of the off-the-shelf available interventions through which we combine them, integrate them, and then we improve our customer experience. Having said that, I think when we need to look at this space, I think customer behaviors are changing very, very fast. And if you take off-the-shelf kind of applications, the change requirement takes quite a lot of time. And that's why what we are preferring from business perspective, that we have in-house team which takes care of all the changes which are required, which are quite fast and maybe cost effective, so that we are able to show agility in our business and meet customer requirement at the earliest. So that's where we have generally in-house applications which are developed through our in-house team. and also have some integration from outside of some of the off-the-shelf available applications.
Thanks, Anil. A lot of takeaways from our discussions. I think a lot of learning. Thank you for that. We will now understand from Rajesh, CFO, Kalpataru Power Transmission, what were his kind of things that he adopted. Being a 10,000 crore power transmission company, Rajesh, preventing revenue leakage would be one of your critical objectives. How are you using technology to support you?
Okay, thank you very much, Vidya. Thank you, Anil, for giving a lot of insights. So before coming to your point, I'll definitely tell that, you know, the automation, ERP and IT has biggest role in this pandemic. You know, we have closed almost 8 quarters, most of the company work from home, and
Correct.
almost 2 years budget from home. Most of the company, if you talk about at least big cities. And you know that IT and ERP support has really saved a lot of jobs, and economy could have been much poor shape if this automation was not there in our company. So you know, I really salute and thanks that we really did well in advance before pandemic was in place. Okay, thank you. I'll come on your point. I'll give you reply in 3 parts. One is that, you know, Kalpataru Power is basically more than 10,000 crore of contract manufacturing company, you can say, in construction. And in construction, our work is from Leh Ladakh to Rameshwaram, and then from Nagaland, Assam, in the deep forest, dense forest till Dwarka. And we have also presence in 60 countries. Now, controlling all these countries and with the same system is very, very difficult. So where revenue leakage, usually many of the company have very big issue, especially CFOs are facing such kind of issue where fake revenue or unrecognized revenues are reported by the people at sites and dividend to region. So what KPTL did, that we need to we are just linking each and every revenue with the milestone. And what is even, suppose there is one tower, transmission tower we are installing at Nagaland in one of the forest. So the moment it is reported in the system, we have third-party auditor. They are just simply clicking, not all, but based on the samples, they are just simply clicking on that revenue. The system is through Google Earth directly taking into Nagaland the location where this tower is installed. They can really see that really this tower is installed, and we can recognize this revenue or not. So this is very, very advanced level of the automation we link with the system and Google Earth, so that somebody should not do the fake revenue and then directly link with the system. So this is something I just wanted to mention it. Second point is that on all these locations, we have big issue of theft. One is a theft of, like, we have almost 500 to 1,000 vehicles running on the ground. And theft, petrol theft, that is important. And second is related to, productivity of the vehicles. So the important decision we need to take that whether we should buy vehicles or we should, take on hire. So we have put the GPS on each and every vehicle, and we get every month, and we get this MIS report that what is the utilization of each vehicle. Okay, based on that, each vehicle give the productivity that, okay, we have 500 vehicles. Out of that, 20% vehicles have no movement. Maybe out of that, 30% vehicle have only 10% movement. Based on the movement, we get the MIS, and based on that, we really come to know that really we need to invest or we need to take on hire. So this is the additional productivity improvement where investment on vehicles are very high on construction companies. Maybe it may possible for logistic company also. The second point which you said, that what kind of MIS system we are doing on that. So one thing is that we are now at future ready. you rightly said that 1995 to 2020, we have seen enormous changes. Last 20-25 years, from manual system to semi-manual and then automation. As on today, I hope that most of the colleagues or friends here have zero paper company. At least I can say Kalpataru Power, we have a zero paper. If I show you, my laptop here and there, you will not find any paper on my table. So we have targeted zero paper company. And the work, the fact is that in future we will be, bit difficult to get right resources. That is very clear. If you really want to find a good resources in the market, you will take at least 10 interviews, 20 interviews, right person at right place. So what is happening that now we need to understand and we need to accept the fact that now in future resources will definitely come down. So the automation, ERP, and the system stability is very, very important for good life of all CFOs. This is what I feel. And for that, we need to implement few advancement. Like we have implemented some RPA, robotic process automation system, where many of the GRN in most of our stores are automatic. Okay, there is no manual intervention, GRN and all. Bank recall is automatic through RPA, just set up the system. Whatever mismatch entries they are keeping aside, otherwise thousands or lakhs of entries they are doing automatically. We have just started this initiative so that at least the key person can free and can do the better work. So these all are important aspects we should ready for future, and we should really look at how we can do better the system.
Yeah, from our conversation, I can just imagine how dreadful it would have been, without any of these technology, that we have to get into all these details. So it was just not possible at all manually. And definitely all the functions, operating people, wherever it is possible, they could have taken us for a ride. So that way, I think CFOs are really blessed now to have this technology with us. So it also kind of helps us to give more meaningful reporting to the management, and we're also part of them to get more meaningful reports, to take corrective actions also. And it's very nice that you have done this robotic process automations in your operations, because it's all just allowing more time for the CFOs to concentrate on more meaningful things to the company, rather than getting into a lot of manual records and other things. And we are also very happy to see that you have kind of completely done away with this paper. You have made a paperless system using management data system. So that's also a very good takeaway from this discussion, I should say.
I just want to add one more thing, Vidya. I'll take half a minute of you.
Yeah, definitely.
System, we have discontinued Excel-based reporting and MIS. What simply we are doing, on second we are closing the books, and one simple mail is going from my side that books are closed. And the moment the mail gets by chairman, or chairman also very tech savvy, chairman and MD, we have given few dashboard links. They simply opening and then looking at the numbers.
Oh, okay.
Where finding the confusion, or they do not have clarity, there is a box lying there. They simply writing the comment, please clarify on this, and there is an email ID coming there. Okay, so he simply clicking on the name, and then question or any query directly go to the respective person, not even MD. It is not necessary they ask all question to MD, but respective person to whom they knows. It goes, and then directly that respective person give the reply immediately, because it come on as a pop-up on the laptop. So not only zero paper, we have zero Excel MIS. Everything in system, real time, online, no manual recording. That is what we started.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Rajesh. I think you've been a passion for automation, it looks like, because you've gone into such great detail, like what has to happen after the books are closed, and then automatic dashboards, and then also directing to the right person. So that's all great things, I should say. You've used the technology to the maximum that it is possible now. So a lot of learnings from you. Thanks for your discussion.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
We'll then move on to Sami Agarwal, who is the Group CFO for Manipal Hospitals. Hello, Sami.
Hey everyone. Hi Vidya.
Yeah. So, so I really want to understand from the healthcare industry. See, now it was like pandemic time. I think you really a crazy moment for the healthcare industry. And how did you all manage to address all these pandemic issues? We just came all of a sudden, and none of us were even prepared for it. So how did you all manage from the healthcare side to support your customers and then your clients? I should say, in the sense that all the patients, I should call them as patients. So how did you support and also keeping your pace of revenue and then all that stuff? So would like to understand from you on that.
Yeah, good afternoon, Vidya, and good afternoon, the esteemed panel, as well as all the people who are listening in. Yeah, I think so. Pandemic has been a black swan event for all of us. I think so, and more so for healthcare, because we didn't have the luxury of working from home. Because all our people, imagine if the healthcare professionals decided to work from home. I think so. A lot of us on this group would not have come, right? So we were in the hospital, and as a group and as a corporate structure, which is my CEO, etc., we decided to be in office all throughout this journey. Only the time when Modi lockdown happened, where actually the country came to a halt, we were always in office. Even during the second wave, we were in office because we always wanted to be there for our employees who were going through this. It is not that our employees were not infected. So our first thing parameter was to ensure that we have the protocols in place because it was highly infectious. We imported the PPE equipments before it was largely available in India. We imported them from abroad. We ensured that everyone in the hospital sort of started using the PPE to ensure that the safety measures are done. Did it have an impact on healthcare? Absolutely. We are a B2C company. We are not a B2B company. We have more than 5 million, patients coming through our doors on an OP basis, and all our revenues get generated with people are able to come to the hospital. So if people are not able to come to the hospital, you don't generate revenue. And we went through that phase, which Aneel also pointed out on the cash flow, where it was very important because we are a very, very high fixed cost structure kind of a business to ensure that the cash flows are there, the collections from the government, etc., happen. So to ensure that the cash flow maintains, to ensure that the employees get paid, we did not lay off a single, employee during this phase. We not only did that, I think so a lot of things Rajesh has also pointed out on automation. We not only did that, we actually did 2 acquisitions during the lockdown. So where everybody was sort of conserving, we were out there acquiring. So we did acquisition of Columbia Asia, and we also acquired Vikram, which are now part of Manipal. And today, we are very glad to say that Manipal Hospital has become one of the second largest healthcare providers in the country. We own and manage more than 8,000 beds only next to Apollo. So that has been the clear. So our mandate is not only to ensure that employees remain safe, the patients are able to come, but also to look at growth opportunities. As far as automation is concerned, Vidya, from a business standpoint, the government also opened up the video consults, etc., which was not initially mandated. What our teams quickly did is, we launched our app. Manipal has its own app. There was one of the few companies which had an integrated app, which had the video consult facility as well as the audio consult facility. All the EMR reports were there on the app. You could actually log in an appointment. You could see the appointment. You can take an appointment with the doctors. We did millions of, almost, we were 300, 500 consults a day. In fact, for the people who are not willing to come to the hospitals. So this has actually really transformed the way healthcare has sort of, delivered itself, because it opened up a huge amount of doors for healthcare, because we didn't need to be present in all parts of the country. We are present in 10 states and 14 cities now, but there's a lot, 130 crore population out there. We had consults that are happening from Hong Kong, Singapore, US. So this really opened the doors for healthcare. We use also the the SEM kind of Google rating for our hospitals, so that the consumer out there know what kind of services Manipal also provides. A lot of the doctor connects. Doctor used to do a lot of those physical meetings with people explaining about their procedures. And now we actually went to the webinar. Like exactly today, we are doing a virtual webinar, reaching out to thousands of people, the session getting recorded, which can be played over. And we started using that, sorry, for the clinicians as well. So it is a really transformational time for healthcare, Vidya.
Yeah, Samir, I could imagine that when when it was a good time for healthcare also, I should say. and you've really utilized it, and but also served the people to a great extent, because that was the need of the hour, and you all have delivered considerably very well in that, I can say. And also nice to see that you are next to Apollo's now, and taking a bigger market share. That's also very nice to see, and making different acquisitions, making use of the situation acquisitions, and then training your people using the app, and then so that's a great service also from the area that you have done. So nice to hear that from you, Samir. And you
So
created a brand, I think. Now
Yeah.
there is a big brand. That brand value also has kind of gone up
Dramatically. And Vidya, just wanted to add, we not only did on the finance business side, what we created is, I think so what Rajesh explained on the back end, we are one of the few hospitals that set up a fully automated accounts payable shared service. Actually, we started on this journey sometime before the COVID even happened in 20. But I think so the digital adaptation that happened due to COVID was fantastic. And we not only reduced cost by almost 50%, we have insourced the entire accounts payable shared service using the robotic process automation, automatic three-way match that happens, and the entire accounts payable. Now, in fact, beyond accounts payable, the entire accounting has been centralized in Bangalore for all our 27 units that are out there. And we are 27 hospitals across the country. Not to get all of that in Bangalore was a great effort that the team undertook, but which has resulted in dramatic working capital savings, because we started coming to know a lot of supplier payment issues. We could actually determine when to pay, how to pay, get discounts from the suppliers as well. So we actually saved a lot of money. Not only the processes were standardized, but we also got a lot of savings. And now we have actually tried to ensure that even the fixed assets accounting. So what we have done, Vidya, is we have taken out the transactions from the people and pushed them to do more business partnering, which is leading to profitable growth for the organization as well.
Correct. Yeah, so you're aligning your resources more where they need to use their intelligence rather than doing mundane jobs, and then that also becomes a little bit demotivating once you start doing the routine job. So that's a good change, Samir, and I think you've really made every use of the technology, every use of the situation, and then supported people, and then that's not a easy thing, and also in a very short span of time.
Yep.
A pandemic was a severe blow to the society, but then you were there to kind of help everyone out, and also to address so many things, that accounting records and everything, and bring in that robotics. But what is your experience on the cost benefit of using the robots?
So again, that's what I sort of explained. Like, we also automated all our bank reconciliations, which are 64 bank accounts across the country.
Okay.
And there were actually one person allocated in each of the hospitals that was doing a bank reconciliation. With the robot actually works 24/7, right? So you have to just give it the system. And as Rajesh explained, it throws up the unadjusted entries. And before the employee comes in his office in the morning, he has the reconciliation in front of him. We also use the robots to actually apply the collection. Since we are a B2C company, we have very small entries of collections. You have to apply the collections to the invoices to get a accurate aging, which is a massive job. We have also outsourced this to the RPA. So the RPA sort of in the night works on the system and uses all the collections and allocates to get an accurate aging. Because if people think that healthcare does not have receivables, we have huge receivables. 50% of our business is credit business from insurance and government. So an accurate aging has also helped us collect faster, which has actually helped in us in cash flows. As far as the cost is concerned, it has again taken away the, if you ask me, in the last 4 or 5 years of my being in Manipal, our productivity on finance is more than 100%. We have actually, our headcount has actually gone down, which means we have not taken out people, but we have given people back to the system in supply chain billing. Despite a revenue growth of a CAGR of more than 25% in the last 4 years. So a huge productivity, because I believe in, which I think so all of my CFO friends believe, that transactions which can be automated will anyways not require human intervention. And that is what AI and ML are doing currently. We have to use our brain. We have to be a part of the business to drive value to not only the employees, but also to the shareholders who invest in our business. And that's where the value will get created by finance. And that's what we are trying to do with this automation.
Yeah, very good, Samir. It's a good experience that you have shared with us. Thank you for that. Next, we will move on to Manoj Agarwal, who is the CFO for Sunteck Realty, Mumbai. Again, a different industry altogether. Over to you, Manoj. So, we would like to understand your overall experience in terms of changing in technology. What did you do in your career to adopt all the technology that you can in your business? And then, because it's rapidly changing also, isn't technology also keeps changing as we speak? We are already in the next version. So how did you make use of it in your business?
Okay, thank you, Vidya. It's great to be part of such wonderful, discussion on the change of the technology. Right. So your question reminded me about my articleship days. In 90s when all my firm's client, they were doing accounting manually because there was no computerization. And cashier and accountant used to sit late in the night because their casebook is not getting tallied.
Correct.
And all these things. Then, computerization came into the picture. But after 10, 15 years, you rightly said around 2000, the demand from businesses changed because businesses were looking more live reports, what's happening at their, plant, what is there at their sales office. So a business started implementing ERP system in the organization. So, but now, like in the last 5 years, the technology is changing very fast because of this, the RPA, artificial intelligence, and machine learning and all these things. And the way the technology is changing, the role of the CFO is also getting changed. Because now, earlier, the role of the CFO is just like, the finance controller, where he has to see that, okay, what is happening in the finance, and he has to, at a periodical reporting and all these things, he has to do it. But now the business is demanding something different. He has to be a business enabler because look, the way that technology is getting changed, our finance function is going to be touchless because of the automation and all these things. The people, all the finance people has to move, instead of doing all the accounting and all these things, more on the inside of the business and the services. Right. So, and the second thing, like currently, okay, we are using the different type of periodical reports, MIS, and all these things for the decision making. I think everything will be out, in the next 2 to 3 years, looking at the change in the technology which is happening currently, because there will be the live, everybody will be looking for the live reports for any type of business decision making. Right. Yeah, you're right. So,
correct.
So,
and with respect to your customer experience, how did you leverage on this?
Yeah. So, Sunteck Realty, actually, my company were known for the premium luxury segment for the real estate development, where the ticket value for a particular apartment was very high, but number of the customer definitely less customers. So, for a real estate business, definitely the sales and CRM is the backbone of the business.
Correct.
Right? Because in the real estate,
You seem to have lost Manoj.
Constructions and over the flat.
Yeah, I think his connection got disconnected.
Definitely, the relationship with the customers was more.
His connection is unstable now.
Yeah, maybe reconnect again.
Yeah, maybe he can reconnect.
So this is the flip part of.
Correct. It's always there.
Always there.
And sometimes it's terrible, you're in some big meetings and then you're completely outside and you can't help it also. That's the issue. Maybe he can connect over the phone, probably.
Samir, how your receivable is too high? We really want to understand maybe after this meeting.
Absolutely, because the government doesn't want to pay on time, Rajesh,
Okay.
and insurance company have a 60 to 90 day kind of a payback. So
Okay.
since large part of your business is credit based, the receivables become high, Rajesh.
Okay.
I hope I can put the government also on Google Earth so that they can make me payment and I can find out where the treasury lies.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
so Vidya, you want to move to the next?
Sorry.
Yeah, Manoj has come back. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, because of the network.
No issues.
Because we are in technology, but definitely there are a lot of, it's back in the technology, you get the network loss and all these things. That's happening. Okay, so I was discussing about the Sunteck, about my company, because earlier we known for the luxury segment, where the relationship with the customer is more on personalized side, because looking at the number of the customers, because in the premium segment you have the limited customers but high value customers. But since last 5 years we have moved to the affordable segment as well, where the volume is very high and value is very less. Like we have almost around 10,000 customers as of now. So to manage that 10,000 customer, you have to be good technology, because you have to maintain the relationship with the customer for 3 to 4 years, not even 3 to 4 years till you deliver, but after the deliver to the customer also, you have to see that the customer, there is no customer complaint as such. So to handle affordable segment and the volume of the customers, we have started, like we have implemented SFDC and a lot of other automation, where there is an end-to-end connect with the customer from the day the customer start inquiry on any type of digital platform. That once customers get clicked on the digital platform, the same is getting recorded in my systems, where my pre-sales team knows okay, this customer has made the inquiry. So based on the customers behavior, customers lifestyle and all these things, system automatically decide okay, where these particular customers needs to be diverted. So the system itself divert that particular customer's inquiry to the concerned pre-sales team based on his behavior and the lifestyle. And then once the customer book the apartment, definitely the things moves to the customer relationship management team. So everything, all the interaction with the customers happen through the systems only, where the customers calls, based on the customers calls, the customers numbers diverted to the customer relationship management, so that concerned manager knows about the customers and he can satisfy to the customers okay, what is his query and how the query is getting resolved. Likewise, any email is there, so that is also getting diverted to the particular CRM. So for real estate, for us, the sales in CRM is important. So we have done a lot of, innovation, technological improvement in terms of the sales in CRM. Let's, when we discuss about the COVID was definitely unfortunate for, each and everyone, worldwide, right? So when the COVID started, as a business continuity plan, what we decided, okay, let's do something different, right? Because, before COVID, if anybody wants to buy his home, dream home, definitely he would like to go to, he would like to visit the site, to walk through the sample flats, to satisfy okay, the flat which he is looking is perfect based on his expectation, the locality is good, everything is matching with the requirement, then only he books flat with any type of builder. But during COVID, we implemented Sunteck AER. One is the digital online platform, where customer can walk through the sample flats online, as well as customer can book the apartment online. And this particular online booking was started by us only during the COVID in Mumbai, I can proudly say. And we have got a very good response from the market on the online booking, which was not expected, earlier.
Yeah, I could understand, because when Samir would have been extremely busy because of the higher demand, and then how to address the customer issues, and then how to collect more money and how to do acquisitions. So the infrastructure side, it was the other way around, you have to just keep your customers, see who's actually doing the navigating your sites, and then who's interested, and then try to connect with them. So that was a different, again, very difficult situation. And also to see whether people who have already started booking the flats, whether they are paying on time. So it was a very, very different situation. Just the opposite. It would have been just the opposite. And as a CFO, that you need to maintain all these things, that the sales force is really driving whatever interest that the people have shown, to convert it into sale. So that would have been a very different atmosphere experience itself, Manoj. I can understand that. Yeah, thank you for sharing your experience, and then what is that you have in your business used to kind of keep your business at stake and then moving. So thank you for that. We will then move on to Sumit Kawariya, CFO ClearTax. Sumit, ClearTax, as we all know, started off as an online income tax filing platform. And then you all diversified to professionals and enterprises in GST. So GST was a big business for you. So you really did a lot of things there, reaching out to professionals and different organizations, helping them to do the vendor reconciliations, because these are all real pain points for any entity. So vendor reconciliations, then embed your GST solutions with the ERPs that are being used in different setups. So can you share your experience of how did you all do? And you all actually also work in very mass scale, isn't it? It's a very different and a very big organizations. So how did you all ramp up your facilities and then using the technology, and would like to understand from you on that.
Sure. Thank you, Vidya. So, like as you rightly told, like ClearTax started in 2011, and it's been known for income tax filing. Like people, this brand people knows like for a consumer income tax filing, where people comes and do their own filing. So, like like today, like almost 2 million people comes every year and do their ITR filing their own. And our platform, through technology, we made such easy platform. People who doesn't know income tax anything, they are able to do their own filing. Like we get a lot of letters from a lot of people, or like 70 or 80-year-old people ki, hey, I don't know anything about income tax, but I have done my filing thanks to you guys, because we give this platform as free of cost. So we get a lot of appreciation from them. And like one of the recent event, like where one person who was like driving and he was on the Silk Board junction, he told like, meanwhile, like light getting red to green, I filed my return. Like experience people are getting just because of technology. Like just people upload their form 16 and their return is ready. So they're not required to do anything, think about anything, and they just submit it, return is filed. So that's where we started. And then when 2017, when GST was about to launch, we realized that this problem is, again, it's a technology problem. This is not a consulting problem, or like it's not a human. Human can't solve manually. So that's where we like diversified and started GST related product. And we started our GST product in 2017, where we started giving a like integrated solution for GST filing. Then with the time, e-way bill came, then e-invoicing came. So like up to that, it was fine. Like, and government was making a lot of changes. So as a tech company, you have to do the things at a scale where you like we have a client who's having a 1 crore invoice in a year, and we have a client who's having just 10 invoice in a year. So we have to serve both the clients who understand technology, a client who is just layman. Like, so today we serve more than 3,000 enterprises, more than 30,000 chartered accountants use our platforms, and more than 6 lakh SMEs use our platforms to their. So we have to cater all three type of category of customers with a different type of experience. One who are like, I can say, technology quite savvy, one who doesn't understand anything but want to do a filing for themselves or for their client. So that's where like the challenge comes. And being a, I can say, customer first company, like we understood like meet all these customers, understood how they work, and we developed our software. And that's where we understood like if we can make the things automate, like if the source of the data, if we are able to integrate with our system, then entire compliance can be eased. So that's where like we in last 1 year we evolved our all product in compliance cloud, where we say ki, hey, let's solve the root cause problem. So instead of following with the vendor, let's identify the vendor with whom you should deal. Let's identify the risk parameter before you start working with them, rather than once you do a business, then do a follow-up for your ITC. So that's where like entire onboarding process of vendors and sellers for e-commerce or all the companies, we made it automate through APIs, where while onboarding itself, we tell them, hey, this vendor is compliant, not compliant, what's the rating based on their history of the filing, or whether the data what they have provided is right or wrong, rather than verifying the physical pen copies, digital, like what Rajesh and Sami was saying, like digital transformation. Really, like all the CFOs like wants that, and we help them. Hey, you want to automate entire vendor onboarding process? Take these APIs. Let's make your entire process automate. Not required to ask your vendor to give a GST certificate copy, pen copy, bench check, leaf, anything. Everything automated and verified. So, and like GST registration these days, everyone knows, right? government keep suspending one registration today, tomorrow. How to keep that updated, right? Because else if you will book the invoice and government say, hey, it's not allowed to, you can't take the credit. And that's the big dilemma. So we made that again real time with when you are booking it, we check it out and say, hey, this GSTN is valid or not? Can you take the credit or not? So what we have done, we have connected ERPs with ClearTax system, which pull the data real time from customers' ERPs, and we pull 2A data from government and reconcile automatically real time. While your team is sleeping, we reconcile, and before they comes to office, they get a detailed instruction. Hey, these are the vendors who has done the filing, not done the filing. They are regular defaulter. Here you make the full payment. Here you make the just text. You just made the base payment. Here you hold the entire payment. All those based on risk category, what CFO want to configure, they configure, slip. Next day when payment team comes, they get a payment file, made the payment. That's all. So that way, like technology is playing a lot, like MI and AI playing a big role. All the machine learning making us like powerful to learn the reconciliation. Today, everyone accounting is pathetic. I can say still in India, accountant are punching anything while creating the record or pushing the data to government. Like someone will put up instead of ABC, they will put A-B-C. So variety of type of invoice punching error people does. Instead of numbers, they put one extra zero, reduce 1 0, and due to this, a lot of mismatch comes. And ultimately, like accountant, like our teammates just get frustrated just following with the vendor key. Amount is not matching, how much I should take the credit. I have to pay 100 rupees, but I am just allowed to take a credit of 20. Government is sending notices. So we have solved all this problem through technology and automation, because it's not a human game, right? It's like people can't do beyond a point monolithic job, right? Every month they can do same reconciliation, do every month same vendor follow. So entire vendor communication, we made two-way communication. What you are communicating should be real time and accurate, but what vendor is replying back also should get recorded. Otherwise, people just get lost in the emails. So that way, we solved end-to-end that loop from like invoice starts till what's the payment happened to the customer. And that's really, I can say, like now CFOs are getting relief in compliance. Things are matching. And as you understand, right, Vidya, like today's most of the notices are automated, right? Like where government system just do a mathematically checks in the systems, and whatever the differences are there, they just shoot up the notice and ask the clarity. So that's where we thought, like if the data source of the all the reporting to different department, if it's once, you will not get the notice, and that's proven.
Yeah, that's a great job, Sumit. I should say that you're given a peaceful sleep for all of us, because this is a very nightmare kind of a situation. You're missing your input tax credit in GST. Your vendors are collecting GST from you. They are not depositing to the government. And then you have to take a big list to the boardroom and say that I have to write off this amount from my book. So it's a very, very embarrassing situations, for which you just can't do much about it. So I think it's a great job for all the CFOs from you. So we all should become your customers, and of course some of them would already be there. Yeah. But I'm saying we are also using your services in some way or the other.
Correct. And that's like technology, like, and I would like to thank all my friends here, right? Because these guys are like decided to adopt the technology. That's where we could innovate and develop the product. That's where, like, if need is there, or like innovation really works if need is there, and people adopt that. And that's where
contrary to the past experience, now the government was even more faster than the industry, in GST automations. So they just throw out the reports, and then you just have to blink at the reports. So they were faster than the industry itself. So that way, I think you are a real good bridge between the industry and the government, pulling out reports and matching and really making it very simple for all of us. Yeah, thank you so much for all the support that you all did. Even though it's from the business perspective, but definitely otherwise also it's a great support, I should say. And really use the robotics and the AI things that it can give the benefits of that, I think, to the fullest extent. So all the best to you for your future also.
Thank you, Vidya.
Thank you, Sumit. Then next,
Vidya,
I think
before you go ahead, we are not able to see your face clearly. Maybe
Yeah, Vidya, I was just going to intervene on that. We just request you to.
Sorry.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Now
okay,
it's
sure.
much better.
Now
Thank
it's
you.
We are able
better.
to
Okay,
hear you.
sure. Yeah, then we will now move on to the leisure space, we have Kailash Gupta, CFO of INOX Leisure. So over to you, Kailash. I would like to understand because even your industry in the pandemic times, it was like worst hit, I should say, compared to what the hospital industry had. So how did you manage to address these pandemic issues and then keep the crowd still there? So how did you do, and what were your methods that you adopted?
Thank you, Vidya. First of all, for giving me this opportunity to speak here. But you have made my job easy because you decided to, call me in the last. So by the time, everything is already covered. And we are doing this session post lunch. So most of the people are really not interested to hear much. But let me still make an attempt, to say something. So as Aneel said, started with the contactless, and this was the burden on us when we started. So out of the last 20 months, we were completely shut for 12 months. 3 months we were running partial, and for 6 months we were running on and off. With so many restrictions. So the first restriction which came from the government was the contactless, and contactless means you can't physically issue any ticket to anybody or give up food invoices, which is all inside. And that is what we did in the, when we started the first shutdown, sometime in the month of October. So what we innovate is, in advance, we decided not to issue the physical ticket, and everything was like the moment you put your phone number, immediately a SMS will go to you, and that will have all links in terms of the ticket or the F&B. So this is how, we innovated first time. We used to issue 70 million tickets pre-pandemic and almost 20 million F&B invoices. So suddenly the 90 million invoices vanished from the system, and that's a power of the computerization which we did in the entire pandemic. The second part, what we did is so we had 2-3 challenges. One is the contactless ticket. But at the same time, how to entice the customer, how the customer come to know that the cinema is open or not open. Because in couple of states, we were allowed to operate, couple of states, it was not. The second challenge was, everybody was, having some scarcity in his mind, and they don't want to visit to the cinema. So what we did is, we used to capture the phone number of all the people who used to visit the cinema. And we have almost, the 15 million mobile numbers, which is really the people who visited the cinema in their nearby area.
My goodness, okay.
So what we did is we shortlisted people, and we started using the data, as artificial intelligence. And we drive the data to a level where we came to know the person has visited once or twice or thrice in a year. We came to know that what kind of a genre he has come last time. We also come to know that what director, what actor, or what kind of movie he was in last time. Based on that, the interest of the customer, we started shooting SMS or WhatsApp message or emails to those people specifically. And that has given us a lot of results, in terms of the overall artificial intelligence in the system. Because the people, while you are not in a mood to, in the morning, suppose you are not in a mood to go outside, but suddenly you get an SMS where, to entice a customer, we say, hey, this is the movie we have for you today, and we have a popcorn free. I mean, I'm sure the couple of people will come to the cinema for sure. And that's what the intelligence we used, in our system in last couple of months. System we had. We have not only, our own system, but it is also connected with the aggregator like Book My Show or Paytm. So everything is very intelligently used, and real-time basis, we know that which seat is vacant, which is full, on which show and which time in which city. So that's a kind of automation we did in our industry, and that is really helping us a lot.
Okay, so it's very interesting, because all of us either had lot of benefits because of pandemic, or really we were really kind of had to see different ways of sustaining, improving business. And it's also nice to see that we are no longer talking about reporting and financial statements and reconciliation and all that. So we say that it's all there. Someone can definitely do it, and we have all these robotics to take care of that. So we are real business partners. I think we can even take the CEO jobs, because we know now how to expand business, how to reach out to customers, how to use different things, leverage whatever is available, and then we also can do a cost benefit analysis of everything anytime. So that way, I'm sure that we are going to meet as CEOs for the next session very soon, all of us. It was a nice connect today. Thank you for all the time. Very interesting discussions, as well as lot of takeaways from each industry and from each one of you. Thank you so much for the for everything. It was very interesting for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Vidya.
Vidya.
What a wonderful session, and thank you